What's up, everyone? Welcome to the True Blue Podcast. I am your host, Zachary Sucardi. It is July. No lie, don't lie, it's July 2nd. I'm fresh off of a neighborhood walk. It was a good walk. I went to my neighbor's house because their truck lights were on. And I thought, all right, I'd want someone to tell me. So I came a knocking, we were like 50 cameras, a Ring doorbell. And I just said, hey, just noticed your lights were on. I've been on a walk, and I came back around and noticed they were still on, so I wanted to let you know. She seemed a little skeptical, but I was friendly, and I showed her the fucking pearly whites, and, she was all good. But, yeah, so that was cool. That was, good to help out a neighbor. And you had a big fucking meal, so I had to go for a walk. Walk it off. Walk it off. I'm happy it's July. I am. I'm just happy. I don't know, like some years, it flies by and you're like, slow down. But nah, I'm just like, all right, let's just keep this ball rolling. You know what I'm saying? I got goals. I got shit that's just, you know what I mean? Rolling with the punches. We be rolling. This is the way we roll. This is the way we roll. I'm rolling. Some MC Hammer for you, or Hammer. Pretty sure that's off of Too Legit to Quit. Too legit to quit, which I have. I remember buying that tape, I think at Record Town in the Paramus Park Mall in probably like 1991 or some shit. And, it perished with, a million other things from the 90s. But probably like 2-3 years ago, I found it elsewhere, and I purchased that same tape. And let me see if I can find it in my collection here. I'm going to use my eyeballs. Where are you, Hammer? All right, there it is, Hammer. Too legit to quit. Okay, so just a little rundown. We're going to get into, since we last spoke, catch up with just a couple of things here that's been going on. And then the self-care tip, we're going to talk about how to show up for yourself, what that looks like. And then music later from Juice WRLD. The name Dick, I've talked about this before. There's no one young named Dick or goes by Dick. Nobody. They're all 60 plus. There's Dick's Sporting Goods, which as I was entering, because I went to buy, so check it out, I bought a new bathing suit. I've been trimming up. I've been leaning out, you know what I'm saying? And then I bought new goggles. I've had my pair of goggles for probably like 6 years. They were great, but they just finally broke. So I graduated and bought a new pair. And I'm walking up and thinking, Dick's, like, it's so amazing how, like, there's so much sex in our culture that just kind of, we just, whatever. And I'm not coming at this in any weird, like, Christian angle. I'm just looking at it like a human, wow, Dick's. It's kind of wild, Dick's. Cox. I'm going to Cox. If I worked there, I'd probably have that sense of humor. Be like, all right, I'm working at Cox. But it probably, I honestly couldn't really, and people are really prude and weird, so I probably couldn't make that joke to too many people, but I can make it to my podcast audience. But yeah, Dick, right? There's no one who just graduated high school or college is like, call me Dick. Maybe in 1950, but not currently. Like, there is absolutely no one named Dick that's a young person. It's just not one of those names or like nicknames that people are like, call me Dick. Call me Dick. Let's see here. Been feeling good. Been, working out. Been progressing in a lot of areas of my life I'm really excited about. So I'm in a 12-step program. I'm on the 8th step, which is, what the fuck is that fucker? It's making an amends, like making a list. It's like become willing. I should look it up so I can tell you all. Let me give you the official step name. Let's see here. 8th step. Made a list of all persons we had harmed and became willing to make amends to them all. So this isn't where I make the amends. I just have to be willing. So I made a list. They want you to make a list of people, institutions, that you have to make an amends for. And they stress to include yourself, which I really like. That's kind of, I guess, part of the how to show up for yourself self-care tip. I like that because we don't realize it how much we sort of like, for lack of a better word, we kind of dog ourselves. You know, there's not a lot of self-love sometimes. And that's what this whole podcast is about, self-love. It's a reminder because it's so easy to say, oh, whatever. But there's, there's a soul in there. You got to, you got to be good to that soul. And I like that because I probably do need to make an amends to some things I just sort of like let slide or ignored or whatever. And it's, this whole step shit it's very, there's a lot of words I can describe to it, but it's very like healing, and they say more will be revealed. So I don't have to like get it all. I don't have to do it perfectly. It's not like, and I want it to be sometimes, it's like a murder mystery. I'm like, it was the butler. He used the knife in the kitchen. It's not that, you just got to keep showing up. Got to keep going to meetings. Got to keep writing, using the tools, reaching out to people, listening and shit. And more will be revealed. And I'm really just coming at this with gratitude. I'm grateful. I am grateful. So I made my list, and then I have to like, for step 9, I have to kind of like categorize it. My sponsor, shout out to my sponsor if he's listening. He's real thorough, which is really helpful. And he doesn't just go by the book like 100%, which I like because there's great structure there, but there's also some things that need to be highlighted. So for my like step 9 work or step 8, 9, I have to put them into categories, like people I've already made amends to, people I need to pray for strength to make the amends, and people I will never make amends to. So pretty cool, and I'm glad to be open and honest and literally true blue with this part of my life because it's such a, like they say, you never graduate from these 12 steps. You just sort of keep going, you keep living it. And I like that, because I mean, life ain't perfect. You're not going to do shit perfectly. You know what I mean? Just showing up for yourself, as I'll get into here in a minute, is mucho importante. So 4th of July is coming up. Oh, check it out. The buck moon. The buck moon. The full moon is tomorrow. The buck moon. So I kind of got hip to full moons, or like the names of them, through my ex-girlfriend. And that the buck moon was the first one that, like, I guess I witnessed and looked up and all that crap. But it's fascinating. Like, every month has a full moon. Every fucking month. And this month it's the buck moon. And it's like something like the deer's fucking antlers are at full like capacity or full growth this month. So they call it the buck moon. Buck. How many people do you know named Buck other than dogs and Uncle Buck, which is a great movie. Shout out to Uncle Buck, the movie. But yeah, beautiful. I mean, it's not till tomorrow, but you know how it is, like the first like couple, whatever, like tonight, it's pretty beautiful. Gotta say, these New Mexico moons. New Mexico moons. I should write a poem about that. I'm going to put that in my poetry list. I've been on a poetry tear, by the way. Been loving it. New Mexico moon. I'm doing a poetry reading, open mic, let's see, Wednesday. So if you're in Albuquerque, you listen to this. Tractor Brewing on 4th. I'll be there reading some poetry. And I can't fucking wait. I'm so pumped. I am so pumped on that. Post Buck Moon poetry. Post Buck Moon poetry reading. Let's see. Yeah, that's kind of it. It's kind of like what I've been about. For the most part. Speaking of Mos, I saw Mos Def, I think, in 2015. Great show. I went by myself, and I remember, like, there were these women. So I was on, like, on the balcony, and, like, these women just started dancing with me. And we were vibing the whole night. It was pretty cool. And it was a great fucking show. Great show. That was when he was still Mos Def. He changed his name to Yassine Bey. Some, like, hip-hop or just, yeah. I've seen some good some good hip hop shows come through town, kind of randomly, and that was one of them. And Mos Def put out an album in 2009 called The Ecstatic. It is excellent. And unfortunately, I have the CD case, but I don't have the CD. And you can hear it on YouTube, but it's not on any other streaming platform. And it's like impossible to like purchase again. It's super fucking expensive. But yeah, it's real good. Real good. That's real good. Well, that's it since we last spoke. Let's get into the self-care tip. All right, so I got this tip off of Instaham. Let me see the name of the page. I think I like accidentally cropped it out. So let me see so I can tell y'all where to find this. Let's see here. I may not. Let's see. Send it to myself. You know, I don't know. I'm not going to waste the whole fucking time. It's on Instagram. Okay. I'll post it in my story. But it's what showing up for yourself looks like. First is forgiving yourself for past mistakes. Forgiveness. Forgiveness literally is a gift that you give yourself. When you forgive, I mean, this is saying forgive yourself, but when you forgive other people, it's not for them. It ain't for them at all. It's for you. Because when you hold on to shit, it's just like you're carrying that extra weight. So imagine carrying this weight like a fucking weight belt, or like I don't know if you ever been in the gym. You see like the guys who are training to be in the fire like academy, and they have these like weighted vests. Imagine walking around with that shit. But this is forgiving yourself of past mistakes. We're not perfect. There's no script. We're just kind of, figuring it out. Forgiving yourself for past mistakes. That's big. I like that one. Next up is setting clear boundaries. I've talked about this before. I thought boundaries were just like, here in Canada, Mexico, like those are boundaries. But being able to say, hey, no, this doesn't work for me. Here's why. I prefer, or please do not cross them. Obviously say it a lot nicer, but setting clear. Key word there is clear boundaries. And you don't set boundaries, people are going to be running amok. Let me tell you, they'll be running amok. Next is working towards your dreams daily. One day at a time. Make a list. Write it down. Short-term goals. Then long-term goals. And as you start to reach these short-term goals, you'll get all that dopamine and endorphins and shit and start feeling good. And then you'll eventually get to long-term goals. Working towards your dreams daily. Now, again, these sounds kind of simple, but I'm kind of glad that they are. Doesn't need to be complex. We as humans confuse things. That's our specialty. That's our super fucking power. Next is nourishing your mind and body. Nourish your mind by listening to my podcast. Reading quotes, reading scripture, fucking being inspired. And then your body, get fucking moving. Go on a neighborhood walk. Help out your neighbors when they leave their lights on. Get moving. I've been swimming. Like I told you, I bought some new goggles and shit. Did I mention that? Yeah. No, I don't know if I did. But yeah, I bought new fucking goggles because mine broke after 6 years. And I bought a new bathing suit. I've been leaning out, so I'm losing a little weight. You know what I'm saying? So, get moving. Seriously. I just told you I went for a fucking walk. I go to the gym. I do weight training. I swim. I do all shit. But, hey, it ain't got to be fucking all that. Just go for a walk. Next on the list, treating yourself. Okay. I can get behind this. Not like shop a fucking holic or shop therapy. Not shock, but shopping. Like Amazoning and shit. I bought a shirt for myself recently from the band Military Gun, who you may have heard me mention before. Shout out to them. Great band. Oh, and I bought I went to a show recently. I saw this band called Gum. Gumm gum. I bought one of their shirts and it fits amazing. I look fucking good as fucking it. It fits really good. I'm really happy with it. So treat yourself. You know, you don't got to go all crazy with it, but treat yourself. You don't even have to spend money. You know, treat yourself to a song. Treat yourself to, make yourself something nice. Just keep it simple. Next on the list of how to show up for yourself, listening to your needs. Yeah, that's good. Because if your needs aren't met, right, like on like a daily basis, then you're not going to be available for other people. And if you are, you could build resentment, and like I kind of mentioned earlier with the making the amends, you gotta put yourself on that list. Listening to your needs. Take a minute, take a deep breath, and just listen to your needs, or one need. Just take it one at a time. It could be, I need a glass of water. Okay, that sounds simple. It sounds like duh, but still, start slow. With all these things in life, all these practices, keep it fucking simple. You don't have to fucking, get all deep and like entrenched in it. Just take it slow. Start simple. Next is letting go of toxic relationships. Amen. Holy moly. Let go of those motherfuckers. Let me tell you what. Letting go. I have a daily reader called The Language of Letting Go. Learn to let it go. It would make it so much easier if you could just let it go. Oh man, I tell you what, some toxic people out there. Some real toxic people. I mean, that's definitely a way of showing up for yourself, is letting go of those toxic relationships. Amen. Next is accepting all your feelings. I've said this before. This is, again, a thing I've heard in the 12 steps. Acceptance is the answer to all of my problems today. Acceptance. Accepting all your feelings. And not judging yourself for feeling them on the reallys. Don't judge yourself for fucking feeling them. You're a human being. Straight up, you're not an alien. You're not a plant. Last on this list, how to show up for yourself is saying no more often. Not to be and it's on the Instagram page, Insightful with 2 N's, Insightful_. I just realized that. But yeah, let's get back to this last part. Saying no more often. No is a complete sentence. Not people pleasing, not just saying yes and stretching yourself too thin. Saying no. Not to be a dick. Not to be a dick sporting goods. But to just, have some self-respect. Have some self-love. Show up for yourself. Don't always be so available. Not for the sake of not being available, but just to really say, hey, do I have time for this? No is a complete sentence. People will understand. And if they don't, then let them go, because they're probably toxic. They're probably fucking toxic. So that's it for the self-care tip. Showing up for yourself looks like, and those are the 9 examples. And again, I found on Instagram on Insightful, 2 N's, and then _ Insightful. All right, let's get on to the True Blue playlist. All right, so this song is from Juice WRLD. The song's called I'll Be Fine. It's off of his 2018 album, Goodbye and Good Riddance. I got introduced to Juice WRLD through my little brother, who I sponsor. He's 14. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't know. Well, not know. I mean, I would know. I've heard the fucking name Juice WRLD, but I probably wouldn't listen to him. And man, I'm glad I was introduced to him. Great voice, great flow. This song, it hits. It really hits. His album's a lot about relationships. Kind of like, with the title Goodbye and Good Riddance. It varies between a immature versus a mature kind of approach to them. And it also talks about drugs. This song is more about drugs. And I guess there's this drug called lean. It's like codeine and like some like fucking like purple drink that I guess some of the youth be drinking, and it gets you all fucked up. But I mean, here we are in the art world. It's music. The song's called "I'll Be Fine." It doesn't have to be about, you know, drugs or whatever. It could be about whatever the fuck you want. That's the beauty of music and about art. And that's kind of how I've interpreted it. Like when I'm listening to it, I usually listen to this at the gym. I mean, I've been listening to it, you know, pretty much anywhere, but especially at the gym lately. And it just motivates me. But what it seems to be about like kind of like the consequences of drugs and what they could do to your body. And in it, he says, "I'll be fine," meaning like, it's all good. I got this. And honestly, this, you know, artist died of an overdose. He took a bunch of like pills before he got on a plane because he didn't want to get arrested, and he overdosed and died. It's fucking sad. It's fucking sad. I'm not trying to be sad, but just trying to be real with you. Trying to be true blue with you. But great, you know, great song. Very sad. And, you know, when I was talking to my little brother, I kind of told him, hey, man, you know, this is cool. You know, it's good to be into music, but that shit is so whack. Especially, like, I mean, just smoke weed if you're going to do drugs. You know what I'm saying? Just smoke weed. Even that, I'm kind of like, you know, you can be stagnant smoking weed, but, excuse me. But the song is catchy as fuck. The 808 in it, the beat, the flow. Dude's got a great voice, like I said earlier. Check it out. You know, for all you old school heads out there, you old heads. Some good music out there. Some good hip hop. Nowadays, you know what I'm saying? There's some good music. So, I'm going to add this to the True Blue playlist. Again, it's "I'll Be Fine" by Juice WRLD off of "Goodbye and Good Riddance." Came out in 2018. So that's it, everybody. That's it for the True Blue podcast. Good to rap with you. Thanks for rolling with me. Happy July, everybody. Happy July. Happy July, everybody. Have a great night. Have fucking a great week. Great 4th of July. Great 5th of July. God bless everybody, and I'll see you next time. Peace.